white people. We might not have the pass, but we got the food, the culture, the privilege. We even got a whole region of the world named after us. Well, the other day, a map that's been going around the internet for a few months or so was brought to my attention. And frankly, I think in some places, it's completely wrong. When it comes to some regions, this shit is more inaccurate and misinformed than a 4chan user talking about women, okay? This shit is completely wrong. To start off, I'm gonna add a couple extra categories, right? Firstly, beige. This is for countries that need a little bit of differentiation from whatever this shit is, you know? They got a bit of flavor. They got a bit of spice. And then also, mega 9000 white boy level. These are people who are like so white they don't even count as white. They're their own thing. Looking at them is like staring into a floodlight, okay? It's gonna hurt your eyes for hours. And you'll be seeing them when you blink for days to come. Right, I'm gonna start off in the UK. Wales, you guys would be in the ultra 9000 white boy category. I mean, you guys eat this shit and have more sheep than humans. However, I'll give it them, they were viciously colonized, culturally cleansed, and enslaved into lives of coal shoveling misery. So I think it's only fair to give them the too oppressed to be white, despite half the population being whiter than white itself. Scotland, I know you guys had it like terrible back then as well, but haggis, lake monsters, these hats, this music. Look, I'm not gonna give you ultra 9000 white boy status, but you guys are at least going green, I can't lie. England, yeah, okay, I know it goes without saying. Extremely fucking white. Too white for its own good sometimes, some might say. But I've gotta play devil's advocate for a second, because, you know, in the past this country did some white boy things that now mean, where in Europe can you get the best, spiciest bolty? Brum. Where in Europe can you get the most flavorful, well-spiced curry goat? South London. Where does the best rap, jazz, matter of fact, any music in Europe come from? England. And for that reason, I gotta give it a beige. Northern Ireland. Yeah, I think you four guys are pretty white. Honestly, not much more to say about that one. And the original poster got Ireland right. I agree, obviously.
Enjoy a few pints with the lads tonight. Up the Ra.
Up the Ra, Nigel.
So, let's move on to mainland Europe. But before we get into that, are you fed up with dropping all your cards and money whenever you go rummaging through your pockets? Or are you fed up with spending ages sifting through your bulky, old-fashioned wallet looking for the right card? Well, you, my friend, need an extra wallet. Reason one, they're half the size of conventional wallets, but carry over 13 cards and cash securely. Reason two, extra wallets allow you to access all your cards at the click of a button with their signature trigger mechanism. Reason three, they've got built-in RFID blocking which protects you from data theft and wireless skimming. Reason four, they're made of environmentally friendly materials like vegan Italian leather and space-grade aluminium. You ain't breaking that. I mean, look at this drop test, still in pristine condition. And reason five, if you're like me and you're constantly losing all your stuff even within your own room, then fear not. Exta's efficient solar-powered tracking device lets you track your wallet's location from your phone. Man, where did I put my wallet, man? Oh, bruh. Yo, thank God, man, I was gonna be late, you know. Now, I know this already sounds amazing, and you're probably gonna go buy one of these anyway, but I got the cherry on the top of the cake. I got a deal you will not be able to turn down. Use my coupon code GEOPOD, all caps, for 30% off. Go grab one now, and I know you want to. So, the Benelux area. Obviously, white person central. I mean, so white, in fact, that every Christmas they like to bring out some questionable traditions. Somehow, though, Luxembourg got away with the didn't commit enough war crimes card. Bruh, they were out in the fucking Congo doing that shit too, okay? Oh, suddenly all the Luxembourgish citizens have long-term memory problems, huh? Blame it all on the Belgians, huh? For those of you who don't know, the Belgian Congo occupation is statistically the worst act of genocide in all of history since Genghis Khan, and Luxembourg's generals and secret army officials were all out there loving it, okay? Yeah, didn't commit enough war crimes, my ass. pass. If anything, they should be considered worse than anyone else, since, you know, Belgium was given that land to control. Luxembourg wasn't given shit. They, by choice, were out there begging for a slice of the pie. That pie's filling being 10 million innocent human casualties. I think I can safely color that one in green, you know. France, yep, adds up. I've been a couple times. None of those times did I eat anything even minorly spicy. I did, however, eat snails, moldy cheese, plain bread, you know, official white boy territory we're talking. Germany, fairly accurate, although at least they got currywurst. And you also got to take into account the massive Turkish population that single-handedly votes Erdogan in every single election, despite not even slightly being affected by their man crush literally collapsing Turkey through mismanagement and his genius financial policy known as cash bonfires. Anyway, Austria, Switzerland. Hey, look, man, anywhere that charges you 30 quid for a fucking Burger King automatically goes into this category. And I know Austria isn't quite as expensive as Switzerland, but my entire perception of Austria is it's where all the trust fund kids from Solihull go skiing. Plus they had Mozart, and they also had that talented painter guy. Italy, I can't argue with that. When I was in Milan a month ago, I ate pizza literally for every single meal. And look, man, there's just no way the guy who made that shit didn't have some massive, bushy, dark eyebrows. I could taste the passion. I could taste the flavor. I could taste the culture that could only be transmitted into the food by a chef with some decent eyebrows. I like how they put Vatican City in green, valid, but then they put San Marino in red. Like, bruh, tell me one food from San Marino you with so heavy that you're changing these people's deserved ethnicity. Bruh, I look up San Marino food. What the f is this? They have 0% tax. That's literally the only reason anyone would ever go to San Marino. You already know what category San Marino are going in, man. Spain is accurate, I think, especially since a big portion of its territories were Islamic and settled by Arabs from the
700s to the 1400s.
And yeah, I know they did all that shit back then, but you gotta factor in, these guys had the biggest fall off of all time. They had dictators, they had civil wars. I mean, bruh, they're basically an honorary Balkan country at this point, you know? However, I am just gonna have to beige out this little bit here for obvious reasons. Also, these guys counted Liechtenstein in their map and not Gibraltar. It's like the last grasp of the British Empire, a fortress of whiteness. I swear that fucking rock is more British than Britain itself. And somehow the food is even fucking worse than in the mainland. So obviously it's getting that San Marino treatment, man. Andorra's gonna get a hard green. Like, the entire country is built around shopping. The capital is one gigantic mall. It's like the mailbox of Europe, full of white people getting ripped off. Portugal, fair. I literally just can't argue.
Pastel de nata.
It's about the best thing to be invented since civilization itself. And I know the monks who invented it had some bushy ass non-Caucasian eyebrows, man. They had to. You can taste it. Okay, on to the Nordic countries, starting with Sweden. And you know, I'm not gonna say bro didn't do his research before making the map, but like, it might kinda be off a little bit here. I'll happily take it, you know? All I'm saying though, if fucking San Marino got red, Sweden should at least get a pink, because literally every other Nordic country just makes bad Swedish food and calls it their own. So we're definitely the cuisine goats of the region. But if I'm gonna be honest, the competition isn't massive. Yeah, I think you guys know what's coming for Iceland, don't you? I mean, you have to be the whitest shade of white possible. You have to have ascended paleness as a civilization to eat this fucking shit, to willingly live amongst active volcanoes, to consider 15 degrees a hot day. I actually think Iceland is the whitest country in the world. Straight up. Shortly followed by Norway. These guys need a color change for sure. They invented black metal, which, contrary to the name, is about the whitest music you could ever possibly imagine. Also, every single man over the age of 30 in Norway looks like this. The aura fall off has to be studied. This really what hydroelectric power plant money does to a man? And look, they got spooky churches, they got gas and oil, they got shit tons of money, and they keep it all to themselves. I like how they classed Hungary as too Asian to be white, and they ignored the fact that Finns are like Hungarians with just slightly less spicy food. Plus, when they absolutely murked the Russians back then, the Finns, they were using some crazy guerrilla tactics. Further proof they've got some Eastern intelligence going on, you know? Also, I think Finland has a hand in popularizing trap music, okay? If Future didn't have a Nokia brick, would he have been able to sell or buy paraphernalia like he did? No. And if he didn't sell or buy paraphernalia like he did, DS2 probably would have come out sounding very differently. And who invented Nokia bricks? Exactly. And because food definitely can't have a say in this outcome, I'm gonna color them in beige/blue. Okay, Czechoslovakia. I'm not an expert, honestly, though one thing I know is in Slovakia, they drink fucking rotten milk by choice instead of normal milk. You should have seen the look of horror on my face when it blobbed out into my fucking tea. And I know Czechians get really angry and throw a hissy fit if you call them Eastern European, as opposed to beautiful civilized German boys. Plus, it's full of Airbnbs and bold British men looking for cheap So, respectfully, I'm giving them both a beige. All of this bit is fair-ish. I'm not going to change it much for now. Only thing, Hungary's food needs to be acknowledged, because that shit actually goes crazy.
Yo, the first time I tried goulash, I was hungry too, that's the thing. Like, my body went into shock, bro. I ate all that shit. It is the best food in Europe.
The OP acknowledging Bulgarian cuisine and not Hungary's cuisine is psychotic behavior. Legit, the only thing I saw in Bulgaria that wasn't just renamed Greek food was cabbage stuffed in peppers. Bruh. Yeah, we can remove those red lines, bro. Sorry. Also, the original poster's got some weird take about Croatia. Every Balkan country is labeled as too oppressed, apart from Croatia. You think they should be oppressed more, bro? What does this mean? I don't get it. But yeah, aside from that, Balkans is pretty standard. Obviously, the food is fucking goated. Obviously, they are oppressed. But you gotta remember, they are the ones oppressing each other, you know? But whatever. Obviously, Greece is valid. Making me lose my train of thought just thinking about it. Although, I'd put some yellow stripes in there considering the current state of the country, you know? Turkey, cuisine, fucking amazing. Also, I know this video is probably going to get mass reported and sent to Erdogan, but I don't think it should be controversial to say Turkey is an Asian country. Then we're on to the Caucasus. Well, Georgia is the only one really in question here. And you know, I had to get the expert Gattsu to break it down on this one. I mean, I know we'll have an interesting take on it because, on God, I've heard this guy swear Georgians are white and also swear Georgians aren't white in the same sentence before.
Georgia, you have to stop. Your food too good. Your language too swag. Your weed is too loud. They'll call you Asian. Georgians are not white because our food is too good. One time I tried fish and chips in Malta. Then you compare to this food given to us straight by gods, 100% satisfaction rate, this good weather, and you realize you cannot be related to Germans at all. Also, our language is not related to any other language at all. For example, it's not related to Latin, but as a counter argument, I think not being related to Italians makes us even more white. Honestly, Georgians just look like any other South Europeans or French people, like Quebecois as well, but Orthodox Christian instead of Catholic. So instead of we counter argument to that is, it only applies when the beard is shaved. If I haven't shaved in like 2 weeks, I might as well be a Mujahideen fighter instead of Justin Trudeau. Also, there are some countries that are just unbelievably white, like fucking Iceland, and they're like relatively nobody is white. Bro, if I went to Iceland, I might as well be from Sudan to them, bro. But being Georgian grants you a lot of things. It grants you good food and the ability to switch races. I wanna be white, I shave my beard. I want to be an anti-American freedom fighter in the Middle East. You got that too, brother. You just grow your beard. A lot of people also have the question whether Georgia is in Europe or Asia, and the answer is both. It's a transcontinental country, so it is both in Eastern Europe and West Asia. If you go on Wikipedia, Google, or anywhere, you will also see this. But culture-wise, religion-wise, and everything-wise, Georgia is more European, and people identify as Europeans too. I have not heard a single Georgian identify as Asian or something something, because the closest people to us religiously and culturally are Europeans. It's sort of like the Estonia situation, you know, where they identify each other more with Nordics and not the Baltics, because they're not like the Baltics at all. But the difference is Georgia does actually have territory in Europe, unlike Estonia, which doesn't have any territory in the Nordics. We are on the Council of Europe. Any chart we are in, we get categorized as Europe. We're in the process of joining the European Union too, bro. What more do I have to do? So putting us in the same discussion as Asian countries like Jordan or something is just insane to me and doesn't make any sense. Also, while recording this vid, I don't know what Leo has said, but I hope he mentioned that Icelanders are like the whitest people to ever fucking step foot on earth.